video, I'm just going to attempt to explain how the Tarkov Arena matchmaking system works. I have about 100 hours into the game. I've spent the past 100 hours, if not more, testing various thresholds, testing various methods and things. Just try to get an understanding of how the matchmaking system works, since BSG is very hush-hush about how it actually works. In order to kind of explain it the correct way, I gotta show you where the players are in Arena. Where's the player base? Where's the majority of the player base? Who's the top 1% of gamers? Blah 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 blah. And I just want to do a quick disclaimer. I'm doing this all off the top of my dome. Nothing scripted. Player base. The majority of the player base is right here. Your D plus lobbies. As a guesstimate, your top 3 to 5% is going to be right here. Your top 1% of gamers are going to be all here. We know this, and it's provable because the top 500 is somewhere here. This is the top 500 of everybody in the game. You can verify that by going on the rankings, on the ranking leaderboards for Arena. Scroll down to the very bottom person. A large portion of the very bottom is going to be C and C+. So if these guys, the top 500 players, then that means the majority of the player base is right here. Now there is a weird wall, metaphorically, that goes right here, and we will talk about this wall quite a bit, because this is the wall that for some reason the matchmaking does not break when these walls exist on every single rank. But because these ranks are not populated enough to make their own matches when everybody's trying to start a match, these walls metaphorically get broken down and bypassed by the ranking system. 1500 ARP is the magic number in all this. Now, I know you see over here with ranked equals unranked without ARP rewards. All that is it doesn't matter if we're talking about ranked matchmaking or unranked matchmaking. It all works the same, because when BSG implemented Arena and first, dropped Arena, it only had a ranked game mode. People were unhappy about that and asked for an unranked game mode. BSG, as BSG normally does, made an unranked game mode by basically copying the ranked game mode and exactly how it works, changed the name to unranked, and then scrapped the ARP rewards. Other than that, it works the same as unranked. So, when you're on a fresh account, playing Arena for the first time, you play a couple ranked games. Either one or two things happen. You either win, and you're on this side of the wall, or you lose and you're on this side of the wall. It's 1500 where that wall lies. If you win, you get what? 1535 ARP. You are now queued up in this bracket. The C, D plus lobbies is what I will call them. And it is important to note that it doesn't matter what threshold it is, whether it's 1500, 2500, 3500, 4500, 5500, so on and so forth. They're all the same thresholds. They all have the same metaphorical walls attached to them. But because the majority of the player base is on this side of the wall, the matchmaking on this side of the wall starts to get a little finicky, right? So say you're an A plus or an A ranked player you go and make a game. Say you have, let's say, 6200 ARP, and you go and make a game. Start a game up. Because you are lower than the 6500, which is half between veteran and professional ranks, you are on this side of the wall. Between these two walls is where your bracket is. Because this is the 1% of the game, or of the community, is right here, you are dealing with less than 1% of the arena gamers in this bracket. The matchmaking can't find you a game, it starts acting up, and as a failsafe, it extends and breaks through that wall to this bracket. Again, you're still dealing with the top 1% of players, just less than that, because now you went from 2 brackets, or 1 bracket to 2, out of what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, possibly 6 brackets. When you break this bracket, right? Still can't find you a game. Breaks into another bracket. Oh look, still can't find another game. Breaks up the bracket. Oh look, we got 8 out of the 10 players. We still need 2 more. Boom, it steals it from that bracket because there's more than enough people in this bracket to where they still have their games, and they can their own games, and they can let the top 5% or so borrow their players. So that is where that bracket lies. It never crosses this threshold because there's more than enough players in this bracket to supplement games for these people over here and to supplement their own games. It's just these guys are going to be waiting, 30 minutes for their queue times. But over here, you're still waiting 5-6 minutes, just not nearly as long. You're able to populate your own lobbies without having to break any barriers. Now over here, this is where the majority of your player base is. They will never have to go across on this side of the wall because there's more than enough players to form their own games, to form their own lobbies, and have instant queue times. This right here is the golden area of Tarkov. This is where the majority of your players are playing. That is why you will never hear them say that this is a dead game, that they're waiting in line forever, blah blah blah, because it just simply doesn't happen for them. And they're just, for lack of better words, untouchables for these guys over here. These guys, top 1%, they're playing the same people over and over again, they're waiting 30 minutes for queuing, blah blah blah. They get this bracket, and that's where your guys' D+ players are coming from. It's not just randos that is just, filling in the blanks. It's just there's not enough players to populate, so it's got to steal from that bracket. And that is exactly why everybody you hear that says Arena is a dead game, they are on this side of that wall. They are only touching 5-6% of the entire player base. Matchmaking, how it works, will never break through that wall because there's not enough of them to make a shit ton of games. There's only 1% of them making games, so they're making less games than these people are, and these people right here. So there's only very few times that that's gotta happen, right? Very few times that's gotta happen. Because, again, there's not a lot of people with these ranks that are making these games. And that is why it takes 30 minutes or so, because it's trying to find you those gamers in these other ranks. And when it can't, it starts, doing its failsafe and breaking through these barriers until it finds you a game. The only issue is that it stops right here because this is where the majority of the player base is. is right in this section. So you start grabbing, 2-3% of the majority of the player base that's left that's in here. So you never have to steal so many players for that 1% to ever break through this wall right here. So this wall just remains solid as concrete, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it. Meaning everybody with lower than 1500 ARP in this section will never play against these people. But Jewel, there's plenty of people that say that their first, second, third ranked game match ever, and they're being queued up against these S-tier players. How is that possible based on what you just told me? Well, 1500 is that magic number. Anything over 1500, even just the smallest amount, is enough to push you into this lobby right here. And as the game in Wipe progresses, 1500 is the exact number that will allow you to get into those lobbies. It's just population based. As the wipe goes on, more and more people are either going on this side of the wall or this side of the wall, to the point where it comes that even the wall itself of these 1500 and exact ARP people, the people who have never played a ranked match, starts queuing with these people sometimes, or they can queue with these people sometimes. They're the best of both worlds. When you have less than 1500 ARP, say 1465, you lost one ranked match, you will forever be placed in these lobbies right here. You will never go on this side of the wall and face these people. Unless you are queued up with this team of, say, 2-3 people. It can only have to be one. You see this type of mechanic found on base game for Ground Zero. Ground Zero is split up into two different lobbies. You have your less than level 20 players, and you have your 20 and above players. The same thing works here for ARP. When you have one person with 1400 ARP, one person with 1350 ARP, and then you have that weird one person that just has 1760 ARP. Boom, you are magically going on this side of the wall. Does not matter. Just like if you were in Ground Zero and one person was level 17, one person was level 12, and then one person was level 22. Because you have one person that is level 22, you are magically going into the 20 plus lobbies instead of the 1 to 19 level lobbies for Ground Zero. Same rules apply here. When you are in a stack and you have somebody that has more than 1500 ARP, you are magically going to start getting queued onto the other side of that wall. I've dealt with this for hundreds of hours trying to figure out what caused that. Because somebody like me who rather enjoy a casual gameplay, I intentionally tank my ARP below 1500 so I never have to wait in queuing and I never have to play with sweaty gamers. The game is magically enjoyable for me. I started queuing up with some friends of mine that had more than 1500 ARP, and the moment I queued up with one of them, I was fighting the top 500 people all the time, without fail. The majority of them were S and A tier people. A lot of them were C plus people, but none of them were D's and D pluses. Unless if I solo queue. If this guy solo queues, he's on this side of the wall. But as a stack, they're going on this side of the wall because this guy right here has more than 1500 ARP. Same thing for Ground Zero, works the same thing here. They just copied and pasted that code and tweaked it to fit the arena format and not the leveling format that Ground Zero goes by. People, they're going to disagree with me, but I guarantee you everybody that disagrees with me is in this yellow area of the wall, and it's a yellow side of the wall. over here. These people are going to agree with me or disagree with me. These are going to be the only people that disagree with me. Why? Because they're made up of streamers, content creators, and comp players, the top 1% of the gaming community for Arena. And because of this wall right here, and because the way the matchmaking works, they will never touch the majority of the player base. So that's why they are underneath the impression that Arena is a dead game, because they are fighting the top 5% of the gamers all the time. Those are the people that are going to disagree with me that game isn't dead, and that they're going to say, well, you're load of bullshit. The game's dead. I know because I have 3600 ARP and I have more than 1,000 hours in the game and I play with my 5-stack all the time. No. I've been on both sides of this wall. Everybody who's gonna disagree with me has never intentionally tanked their ARP down below 1500. They are comp players, streamers, whatever. They play to win. They play to gain ARP. They will never intentionally rank down. They will always want to rank up, which is understandable. I'm not going to argue with that. That is wholly understandable and why you'd want to do that. And I'm not saying you're wrong for wanting to do that. However, I am saying that you only have half the picture when it comes to the community and the way the matchmaking works, because you've never been on this side of the wall. Therefore, you cannot make assumptions on what the side of the wall entails or if this wall even exists, because you're so used to these walls over here being broken that you decided that these walls don't even exist. Which, the way the matchmaking works and the way everybody is populated in these different ranks, it's understandable why you consider these walls to be non-existent, because the matchmaking is constantly breaking through these walls until it gets enough players for you. But you will never touch this wall again, because there's more than enough players that are D+, that have more than 1500 ARP to supplement all of the games that you want to play. It just takes a while because, again, the matchmaking starts with your one bracket. It can't find anyone with that one bracket, so it expands to another bracket. Can't find a game, so it expands itself to another bracket, so on and so forth. And it always will stop here because there's plenty of players to meet your needs. Your needs are not big enough and not demanding enough to ever break through this wall. So that's why this wall will never be broken the way that the arena player base is split up right now. And to the people that disagree with me on this, I want to ask you two things. One, have you ever intentionally tanked your ARP down below 1500? That answer will almost most definitely be a no, which again is understandable. And two, if you want to complain about long queuing times and you want to complain about people all F4ing the moment they see your rank and they all F4 out of the match so they don't have to play against you, I implore you to take a wipe to intentionally drop your ARP down below 1500. You're not losing anything. You're not gaining anything. Besides, plentiful matches and a more casual gameplay experience that you guys want to see. That you guys are complaining that you guys are missing out on. And I guarantee you, the moment you go under 1500 ARP, all your problems will be solved. People aren't going to alt F4 you the moment they see you, because you will look like one of them with a D+ rank. And two, you will find matches almost instantly because the majority of the player base is on this side of the wall. It's completely separated and cut off from you guys. You've never played these guys before in your fucking life. Guaranteed. And that's about the gist of things. I can't really think of anything else. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. If I have to go more in depth about a certain thing, let me know, and I will more than be happy to make a video about it and make it a more structured, maybe even scripted video. I'm not good with scripts. I'm not good at making them. I'd rather just do it all improv off the top of the dome. If it takes a couple of tries, it takes a couple of tries, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm not here to try to be, the fucking Pestilly of fucking Tarkov Arena. I just want to, shed some light from somebody who's been on both sides of the wall, because everybody that I've seen have a take from Tarkov is on one side of the wall or the other. They've never been on both sides of the wall. And if they have, they haven't spent as much time as I have on that side of the wall. Like I said, I've spent about 100 hours, if not more, testing what I just told you guys. And that's more hours than the majority of the game, the player base has. Less than 100 hours, which is over here, again. But anyways, my name is JewelTeam6. Sorry for yapping. Thank you guys so much for watching my video to the end. If you guys could, give me a sub, and like I said, hop over on my Twitch and check it out, man. I'm live almost every single day. I'm just a chill dude. If you want to fucking get into it, you're more than welcome to follow me on Twitter. That's where I shitpost and I troll and I engage with other creators. The majority of them have different opinions of mine, which is fine. Without further ado, my name is JewelTeam6. You guys have a good fucking night.